9.3. This might be wrong, so
85.
let's just take it as that. This one, we're going to do it at the beginning of the class, but it's not that important because she'll show us how it's done. But we have assets that are worth 9.3 billion. And we have liabilities that are worth 8.6 billion. And that assets minus liabilities gives us the equity of 0.7. Correct?
Correct.
So, when we talk about duration, we say what is the effect of plus or minus 1% change in interest rates.
Yes.
If we're talking about positive duration, it means that if interest rates rise, the value goes down. And if interest rates decrease, the value goes up. Okay? So the bank has assets with 1.4 duration and deposits with 1.9, right? So that means if interest rates go up by 1.5, by 1%, on average, assets will go up by 1.4%. And if deposits will go to 1.9. So we could say, one way that we could do it is, we could say, if it goes up, and here we're not taking into account convexity, right? But 1.4, so 9.3 plus 9.3.
Why? Because you multiply 9.3 by 1.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if we're saying that here the duration is 1.4 and here is 1.9, we're saying that on average for every 1% there is for every 1% there is a decrease. Sorry, here if interest rates rise,
There is a
there is a
decrease in the
decrease.
market asset value.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So a decrease will be 1
Direct
minus
addition, right?
0.014 times 9.3 will be 9.1.
Negative duration.
And then we have 1 minus 8.6. We have 8, 4, 3, 6, 6. Then we get 0.7332. And here is the opposite, 9.3 times 1.01. 0.6668. Okay, so first thing you notice is it's correct. The gap implies that the duration of equity is actually negative.
Right.
So
How
it's
did you
not like-
calculate this value?
Huh?
How did you calculate
Multiply.
9 point?
Because you have the
1.4.
duration of the assets and the duration of the liabilities.
You
What is-
multiplied it?
Well, the duration is positive, so it means that it decreases in value when interest rates go up.
Yeah.
And approximately, without taking into account convexity, it decreases in value by 1.4% for every 1%. Right? And here is
So
1.9. So I calculate assets, liabilities, for a plus 1% change and for a minus 1% change. Assets minus liabilities give me equity. So I calculate for both, and now I have changes because I know that equity here is 0.7. So now I can calculate
0.71 is the
equity right now is 0.7 million. If interest rates increase 1%, I estimate that my equity will be about 0.7332. If interest rate decrease, I estimate that my equity is going to be 0.668. Now, the absolute average of
average.
these two
Okay.
growths is going to give me the duration, and the sign is going to be negative because I make money when interest rates are higher. So if I say 0.7332 divided by 0.7 minus 1 and 0.6668 divided by 0.7 minus 1. And I get minus 4.74 duration for equity.
What do you do to get a 4.74?
Well, this divided by this minus 1 is the growth if interest rates go up. Remember that duration is the average of both growths,
Right.
the absolute.
So 0.7 is the average?
So
What is it?
here, if
Right.
interest rates go up, how
Right.
much is my equity going up in percentage terms? It's going to be 0.7332
Right.
divided by 0.7 minus 1. 0.77, 0.7332 divided by 0.7 minus 1, that's 4.74%. That's how much increase I'm going to have. If interest rate goes down, I get 0.6668 divided by 0.7 minus 1. It goes down by 4.74. So the average, absolute average is 0.47. And why is the sign negative? Because I make money if it goes down, not up. Positive duration means that the value goes down when interest rate goes up.
Where you get 0.7?
That tells us that it's 0.7.
Oh, no,
Plus
the
it
difference.
tells assets and liabilities, that give us the 0.7.
Oh, say, oh,
But they tell you, but it's the same. So that's how I will calculate that one.
Affected interest is average of those two.
Yeah, but the sign depends on the direction of the change. Positive duration means that the value decreases when interest rates increase. Just write it down.
No, Alejandro, okay, 0.74. What you get in the bottom? ¿De qué? Abajo, de varón. Oh, this is, yes.
Remember, if I have positive duration,
Mm.
it means if interest rates go down,
No.
the value of my assets go up.
Well,
Okay? By how much? By the effective duration.
right.
So if my assets have an effective duration of 1.4, if interest rates go down by 1% on average, without taking into account convexity, my assets will increase by 1.4% in price. So if I have 9.3 in assets times 1.4% increase, I get 9.4. Plus the liabilities will change by 1.9. I calculate that. And the difference between assets and liabilities is my equity.
Right. ¿Y por qué no calculas? Oh,
What? What do you mean, that's wrong?
¿por qué solamente calculas?
No, that's what I did too. It's here. 4.74. Sí, simplemente es 0.66. It's this one. You say 0.66 divided by 0.7 minus 1, you get this one.
Por lo mismo.
Sí, es una fórmula. O sea, es el crecimiento, solo que negativo. Solo que negativo. Aquí perdés. Entonces, el absolute average es la duración. Y el símbolo depende de la dirección. Aquí,
Claro.
¿cuánto ganas?
Cuando baja.
Entonces es negativa.
Mm.
Entonces, por eso la duración del portafolio es negativa.
Oh, o sea que. Oh, entonces va a ser negative duration. Right?
Okay, second, qualitative indicate how the bank's sensitivity computation will if the convexity of the asset is negative and the convexity of the liabilities is positive. Okay, convexity means that I make more money if rates go up than what I lose, and negative is the opposite. So if the convexity of assets is negative, that means that if interest rates go down, I lose more. Hey, if interest rate goes up, I lose more.
Why did you say the effective is negative on what basis?
What?
The direction how did you say it was negative because both are
No. Because remember, positive duration means that if interest rates increase, the value of your assets decrease. Negative duration means that the opposite. If interest rates increase, the value of your asset increases. Okay? So in this case, it's positive for assets and liabilities because they decrease and increase. But however, for equity it's not the same because there is a mismatch. So basically the proportion of the decreases and increases for the liabilities is the same. It's different because the durations are different. So look at this. Even though assets decrease, liabilities decrease, equity increase. Why? Because liabilities change more than the assets. So it increases your equity. So the direction of the equity is the opposite to, in this case, to the assets and liabilities, and therefore the duration is the opposite sign.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if the convexity of the assets is negative and the convexity of the liabilities is positive, no, I don't know. This one I prefer to hear from him. I have to think about it because I think the effect will be if it's positive. I think more than I lose. The second one, I gotta think about it. Will the bank NPV be hurt or helped by rising interest rates based on expected liquidity? Okay, if the interest rates increase, actually the
NPV
bank
is
is gonna
increasing.
help, so
Yeah.
it's gonna help them. And if we see the yield curve is steep, so it appears that interest rates are gonna go up. That's number 3. Number 4, I think this too, he said we're gonna do it in class, right? Because we have not seen this part.
Right. So, number 3, how do you calculate it?
No, we have seen, right, with increase in interest rates, the NPV
Yeah.
0.733. From 0.7 it increased to 0.733.
Right.
So with increase in interest rates, we have NPV
Oh, because that
value
one
is
increased. Okay, got it. Nice.
On this swap thing, I think we did not cover it yet.
How to know?
It's gonna probably cover it in class. Yeah. Swap. So that one we have not. I think he said we could do 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah,
The
perfect.
rest we're gonna see in class. So that's
Perfect,
it.
man.
Wow.
Not too bad. Not too difficult, right? This time.
No. I still have to refresh.
Security will gain more with lower yields than loss with higher yields. Positive convexity.
Yeah, positive risk securities will gain more with lower yields than lose with higher yields. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So here, for example, in number 2, we're saying that the security in assets here it's going to be higher than here lower. Okay, and for liabilities, it's going to be the opposite. Here it's going to be lower, and here it's going to be higher, so, because it's going to be negative convexity. But how to interpret? I don't know if it depends on the degree of convexity, because it means that here we're gonna. I think my I think the sensitivity will be that it will decrease the duration of the equity. That's what I think.
Right.
That's what I think, that it will decrease the duration of the equity. It will make this smaller, because they will go in the opposite direction. But I don't know, I'll prefer him to explain. Alright, guys.
Let's go to it, man. Go to it. Vamos al Subway.
No, yo voy a la casa.
¿Qué pasa, doctor?
Estoy haciendo un poco de dieta.
Coño, pero una pechuga de pollo en el Subway.
No, en la casa tengo comida, además voy a sacar a la perra.
¿Por qué?
Ver el partido.
¿Y cuántos años tienes la perra?
¿Ves?
3 años. ¿Lo compraste acá o ya?
No, lo traje a Costa Rica.
¿Cuánto te costó?
¿En Costa Rica?
Sí.
Como
Do you stop it?
$500.
Acá cuesta $1000, ¿no? Mínimo.
No, depende. Costa Rica hay muchos labradores. Costa Rica depende de la raza, pero...
Oh, labrador, me dijiste, puta, no sé, no seas asesino.
De 300 y...
¿Y no mordió a nadie acá?
No, no
Coño,
muerde
sí,
nadie. No, si vieron la cantidad de perros que van al parque. Perros grandes y todo.
¿Y no pasa nada?
Los perros son...
En mi país te muerden, ¿no?
¿A dónde?
En mi país te muerden.
Como en el país.
En mi país te muerden.
Hombre, pero lo que pasa en Costa Rica, en Perú, en todos lados los tienen encerrados. O sea, de hecho la gente no saca nunca a los perros a socializar con otros perros.
Claro.
Entonces, el perro desde pequeño hay que socializarlo.
Oh.
No importa la raza, si lo
Por supuesto,
socializas,
por
ya,
supuesto.
ya está acostumbrado a ver diferente gente.
Por supuesto.
Si no se vuelven muy protectores del dueño, de la casa. Y yo tenía Rottweilers, por ejemplo, en Costa Rica, que son bravísimos. Y es curioso, if you see, I used to have Rottweilers, very dangerous dogs.
They
But
eat more than you.
My dog, my Rottweiler, if you go to my house, he will bark at you, and I'll have to, hide him because he will try to eat you. But if I was walking him on the street and you saw him, the dog would be nice because he was
Wow.
protective of
The
his
house.
environment.
Oh,
So the key is to socialize. I know my dog, she'll move the tail to anybody.
But the problem with the dog, they die soon. I don't like that one. You get like a song,
I know it's
and
very sad.
yeah, the song
It's
will,
very
will
sad.
die before you. I don't like that one.
You love them a lot. And
Yes,
then
yes,
they-
more than the song.
Labrador.
7 years, 7 to 8 years.
No, Labrador, it depends on the.
15 maximum.
Yeah, like 11 to 15.
But still, man.
But you don't get it at
O te están mirando, ¿qué pasa?
Uno es tuerto, le pujan, uno es tuerto, uno
¿Qué tal?
Ah, está bien.
Bueno, tiene una mirada de arriba para abajo, que también, doctor, usted parece que es pesista, no sé
Qué
qué.
va, doctor.
Oye, usted, qué bestia, tú sabes que he comenzado a entrenar con mi sobrino para